Let's solve this inequality involving three parts. 1, 2, 3. We're going to divide each part by -2. When we divide by a negative number, we flip the inequality symbols. We have -4 divided by -2 is 2. -2x divided by -2 is just x. And we have 8 divided by -2 is -4. So notice that the lowest number is -4 and the greatest number is 2. So let's reorder these. -4 is less than or equals to x is less than 2. Let's multiply each of these three parts by -3. When we multiply by a negative, we flip the inequality symbols. 6 times -3 is -18. And we will multiply a negative times negative, we get a positive. Negative x over 3 times -3 is positive x, because the 3 on the numerator and denominator, they cancel. What is 2 times -3? We have -6. Let's sketch this inequality graph involving quadratics. We know how to factor x squared minus 5x plus 6. We set up some brackets, and we ask ourselves, what times what is 6? Negative times negative is positive 6, but what adds to be -5? Let's try -2 and -3. So this here is the factored form. So when we sketch the parabola, we have x-intercepts at 2 and 3. So the parabola opens up this way. Now because the graph is less than, it is not less than or equals to, we're not actually going to include this boundary line. So let's redraw the parabola using a dotted or dashed line. Now when we say that y is less than the parabola, it means we're going to shade below the actual parabola. Think of this being a border, and we live south of this border. This here is the solution region. We now have x squared is less than 9. When we see this pattern, let's take the square root of 9, which is plus minus 3. Recall that when we have x squared equals 9, when we take the square root of both sides, we have x equals plus or minus the square root of 9, which is plus or minus 3. So we have the critical points 3 and -3. Now remember, when we have a less than symbol, it means the answer x is between positive 3, this larger number, and -3. So this here is the solution. Similarly, if we see the pattern x squared is less than 5, we take the square root of 5, and x is between the square root of 5 and the negative version of the square root of 5, negative root 5. So this here is the correct answer. Now let's think about this original question. What does it mean for x squared to be less than 9? Let's throw this 9 over. We have x squared minus 9 is less than 0. Now this left-hand side graph, we know what this looks like. Y equals x squared minus 9 is a parabola. It's a parabola that happens to be shifted 9 units down. The y-intercept is -9. And we're going to draw the parabola like this. And the x-intercepts happen to be the square root of 9, which is 3 or -3. So when we say that the parabola is less than 0, think of this like a boat. For what domain is the boat less than 0? Not equal to 0, we're going to have a hollow circle here, a hollow circle here, and the domain in which this does occur, where the boat is underwater, below the x-axis, is between -3 and 3. So indeed, -3 is less than x is less than 3.